What's up, Super players? It's your homie C-Rod, and in today's video I got Son Gohan Super Saiyan 2 because of the fact that Dokkan Battle was so generous to me. I kid you not, I had one of the most broken summons in Dokkan Battle. I pulled the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, I pulled two of them and a Gogeta in one multi-summon, and I got so hyped. I was, I wanted to make a Son Gohan deck. I really did. A Son Gohan Super Saiyan 2 deck. And just like in the anime, it's freaking powerful. I've actually been working on this deck for about 3 months, 2 months, and this is what I came up with. So here we go. So we got Son Gohan the leader. What does Son Gohan do? Well, if you have a Goku in the drop area, meaning if a Goku died for whatever reason, or you discarded a Goku, he gains an additional 5k boost power for the attack, which is very useful. We have a lot of Son Gokus in this deck, Father, Son, Kamehameha, final finishing blow, and then that's how this deck, actually really plays. So, when you awaken at 4 lives or less, you draw 2 cards, then you go to boom, Super Saiyan, Father, Son, final Kamehameha, the one that obliterated Cell, and we have a very powerful leader right here. So, what he does is when he attacks, right? When he attacks, you draw a card. That's not the amazing part. What makes this leader amazing, this old school leader from set 2, is when he attacks, you get to activate his ability. His ability is during battle. So first you have to, your opponent has to respond if they want to counter. If they say no counters, activate battle, because you activated during the battle. You get to warp or send all your cards and remove them from play that are in the drop area. So it's not warp, it's actually just remove them from the game, and this guy gains an additional 5k boost and triple strike. So it's one big final hit that you want to obliterate your opponent with. And ideally we have a lot of cards here that are going to drop our opponent down to 3 lives and then finish them off with our leader that does triple strike, 20k, final Kamehameha, Father Son damage. So that is our leader, and I'm just proud that I pulled that deck. So I mean that Gohan from Dokkan Battle. I'm super hype. So what we're running first is we are running Son Gohan right here. So this is our 1-drop Son Gohan. What it does is when he attacks, you get to pretty much strike a life, add it to your hand, and he becomes a 15k critical, dealing damage to your opponent, allowing our leader to self-awaken as well. So this guy is very useful, and keeping a theme to Son Gohan. Why wouldn't you want to run a Son Gohan deck without the kid version of Gohan? So also, we have another 1-drop Gohan. Since our leader kind of struggles from awakening, we need to awaken ourselves, and we need to draw into our awakening pieces. So I have this 1-drop that says never take this, special rare in the front. Pretty much Tenacious Split Son Gohan. What he does is you play him for 1 energy, you draw a card, and for 2 energies, activate main, you get to give him an additional boost, making him 20k, and he gains critical, staying true to not giving your opponent any hand resources. So that is good. And the reason we have so many Gohans is because we are running Goku cards, and the Goku card we are running happens to be this Goku right here. And if this guy's in the drop area, your leader gains an additional 5k boost when he's unawakened, right? Because this guy counts as Piccolo and Goku, the real fathers. The Goku is the real father, and then Piccolo is like the true father, what people like to say. But this card's good. So he has a freaking essay long ability, but I'm gonna skim it as much as I can. Pretty much when this guy attacks, you get to switch any of your green or red battle cards in the battle area to rest mode, and he gains their power boost. And if you switched a Gohan youth to rest mode, you draw 2 cards and he gains critical, staying true to not giving your opponent any hand resources. And we have this Gohan and also the 1-drop that gains crit Gohan to actually get that alliance ability going off. So this guy is very useful for the deck to draw you cards and keeping that consistent pressure. And then Gohan does eventually fight Broly in the anime. So I added this Broly right here. This Broly is very good. Pretty much when you have a dual color energy already, when you can use this guy as energy, and he'll come out in active mode because his energy exhaust ability gets canceled, gets nullified. So pretty much you want to have a dual color card turn 1, and then turn 2, turn 3, or whatever, every other turn following, you want to toss this guy out as energy. And also, worst case scenario, you can play him for 2 energies and your opponent has to drop 1 card from their hand. Can be very useful late game. So that guy is amazing. And then, you know, keeping it true to, you know, who Gohan fights, he does fight Broly. So I added this Super Saiyan Broly, the unforeseen force. So I added this guy because pretty much if you have a dual color energy, next turn you can play this guy. You get to blow up the field and draw 2 cards and drop 1 once you end your turn. So this guy is very useful. I see him as a little nuke to like remove the field just in case your opponent's swarming the field with a bunch of small battle cards, and he blows up 3 cost or less, so that's very useful as well. So I added that guy, you know, to draw and blow up the field. He's like a Kami. I kind of see him as a Kami. So then I added Saiyan Kaba. The reason I added 3 Saiyan Kabas is because, you know, you need a self-awaken, and our leader gains triple strike and additional 5k boost, right? So we want to drop our opponent down to 3 lives. So this guy is pretty much, when he attacks, he's kind of like the Gohan. You pick up a life and he gains, he pretty much becomes a 15k, and instead of critical, he's double strike. So 15k, double strike for 1 energy and self-awakening. And ideally, I like to play him when my opponent is at 5 lives, so I attack with this guy and hopefully I drop him down to 3 lives, and then my leader could finish the job. So we have 3 of those Kabas, and then, you know, more Goku cards, because we also need to self-awaken. So I added this Arrival card. If you guys don't know what Arrival is you pretty much, when you have a red and a green card in the combo area, for this card you get to use Arrival. Use 1 red and 1 green energy, and then he comes out onto the field. And then this guy, you can pretty much strike a life, and if you happen to have 3 lives or less, he becomes a dual attack double strike. So this guy could finish the job. This guy is very useful to self-awaken. I added 3 of those Gokus, and it's a dual color card. You need to add a lot of dual color cards in this so you could actually get this guy's effect going off. So this guy is very useful. So the way I play this deck is very tempo-like. You want to kind of control the situation. Only play your 1-drops, and then hopefully leave 2 energies active all the time for this guy. So pretty much if you have a dual color card in your energy zone, which you should, mulligan hard for a dual color card, this guy comes out onto the field as a counter play. So during your opponent's turn, when your opponent plays something, use 2 energies, because his energy cost gets reduced by 1 if you have a dual color energy in the energy zone. He comes out onto the field, he blows up a 4 cost or less, so this guy's a removal, and on top of that, he also makes your opponent warp 1 card from their hand, making your opponent have a low amount of cards in their hand, so when you go in with the triple strike, you actually get the job done. So then our negate or counters, I added, you know, one of the best counters in the game, Shocking Death Ball. Sparking 5 as well. You can strike your life if you have 5 cards in the drop area to activate, you know, the counter. And this counter stops the attack and KOs a 2 cost or less. This guy, that guy is very useful to self-awaken, and to self-awaken as well. And then, you know, Primitive Strike. I love this card. I'm just laughing because I love this card. Pretty much, like I said, you want to play this deck very tempo-like. Just play one drop and then save your 2 energies active for a defensive attack during your opponent's turn, either the Vegeta or Primitive Strike. When your opponent plays something, 2 energies, instead of that card being played, it goes straight to the drop area, and then, you know, you kill your opponent's play. And then for our red card, since we are running dual colors, I added Gohan, you know, 1 season adult. This guy is very useful. Pretty much for 3 energies, he comes out onto the field. If you just happen to have low card advantage, this guy comes out to the rescue. The reason he comes to the rescue is because when he attacks, if you have 4 cards or less, you draw 2 cards. And he's a critical, staying true to the no hand power to your opponent. And then for you to solidify the triple strike going in and removing your drop area, this guy comes out, and when he comes out, he sees your opponent's hand, so you can do some mathematical formulas, you know, some physics or whatever. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't even know what I'm saying. But this guy sees your opponent's hand, and then you can calculate if you have enough to go in with the triple strike to your opponent. And this guy warps 2 cards from your opponent's hand, which is insane. that card is freaking insane. So our super combos, I added 4 Paragus. When you're at 4 lives or less, you draw 2 and warp 1. So this guy is the ideal finisher. I like using our, Gohan's father-son Kamehameha triple strike finishing blow, and then super comboing to solidify it. This super combo usually always makes it a finishing blow. And then we can't have a Gohan deck without the finishing piece, which is this Gohan, and this Gohan is so darn good. So for turn 4, you ideally want to do the big play and hopefully finish your opponent off. So turn 4, you play this guy, you draw 2 cards, and then if your leader is green and our leader is green, you get to evolve Piercing Son Gohan from your hand for free on top of this guy. So you want to play this guy, draw 2 cards, and then evolve. Boom, I'm running 3 of these guys. The Piercing Son Gohan. So this guy evolves for free on top of that other Gohan. And what this guy does is when he comes out onto the field, he pretty much is a double strike. And if your opponent combos with anything that's 3 cost or less, their whole field and their combo area just goes straight to the drop zone. And the only way they can survive is comboing heavy battle cards, and usually that's not enough, especially when you go in with your leaders like triple strike finishing blow. They need a combo out of that finishing blow, and usually when you have the super rare on board, they're not gonna have enough to combo, and that's how you finish them off. And last but not least, I have 2 warping cards, 2 overwhelm cards. So this Scientist Fu is also very useful if you happen to play the Gohan your opponent can't combo. Go in with a double strike, draw 2, and then to drop them down to 3 lives, hopefully. That guy or this guy, they're both double strike. So ideally you want to double strike your opponent when they're at 5 lives to drop them down to 3, and then finish them off with a triple strike when they're at 3 lives. So that's gonna be the end of the video. Like, comment, subscribe. You guys can pop the deck in the description below if you guys want to buy the cards. And like we always say, y'all stay super. I pulled broken in Dokkan Battle.